right, so. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jeffrey Lee Kapnick, file number 24-21720 FC. I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Kapnick. Mr. Kapnick and his attorney are present in person today. I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the Illinois Prosecutor's Office. She's in the building, but she is appearing from Zoom from her office. This is a date and time set for a plea. Mr. Dagger Margosian, I have received a plea agreement form as well as an amended felony information. You received those?
Yes.
All right. The plea agreement form states that the defendant agrees to plead guilty to 2 counts of CSE 4th degree, which on the felony information are count 3 and count 4. Count 1 and 2 would be dismissed at the time of sentencing. And additional terms are that he will be required to register by statute as a Tier 3 Sex Offender Registration Act offense, which is lifetime registration, but if he never gets in trouble after 25 years, he can petition to be removed. Is that your understanding, Mr. Dagger Margosian?
Yes.
All right. And I don't see any other terms of the plea. Am I missing anything in the agreement form?
No.
All right, Mr. Kapnick, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Dagger Margosian, can you move the mic between the two of you a little bit? Okay, good. Sir, can you state your full name for the record?
Jeffrey Lee Kapnick II.
All right, so Mr. Kapnick, you've had a chance to read and review the plea agreement form.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you wish to accept this plea offer.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you've had an opportunity to discuss it at length with your attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that the maximum penalty for count 3 and count 4, which are criminal sexual conduct 4th degree, could be up to, it is a high court misdemeanor. So the maximum penalty could be up to 2 years in prison and or a $500 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. You had that look on your face like
No,
I was saying
no.
something wrong.
Nope. No.
All right, and I do show that his DNA has been done and his testing has been done. All right. So other than the plea agreement form I have in front of me, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Dagger Margosian?
Correct.
And Ms. McClure, is that correct?
That's correct.
And Mr. Kapnick, is that correct as far as you're aware?
Yes, Your Honor.
If a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. And you fully understand the requirements and that by entering this plea, you will be required to register under the Michigan Sex Offender Registration Act.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So the appropriate response to the next 2 questions would be guilty or not guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Kapnick, how do you wish to plead to the charge listed under count 3, criminal sexual conduct 4th degree, that on or about the time period between December 16th of 2020 through February 15th of 2023 in the city of Adrian and the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree incest, guilty or not guilty?
Zero.
All right. And how do you wish to plead to count 4 that during the time period of December 16th of 2020 through February 15th of 2023 in the city of Adrian and the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense again listed under count 4, criminal sexual conduct, 4th degree incest, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to these charges?
No, Your Honor.
Is the do you understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Dagger Margosian?
No.
Ms. McClure?
None, Your Honor.
All right. Has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Dagger Margosian, I can inquire, or do you wish to voir dire your client?
Your Honor, I'll Mr. Kaepernick, on between the date range that the court listed, December 16th, 2020 and February 15th, 2023, were you in the city of Adrian, county of Lenawee, state of Michigan?
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you got to speak loudly for us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And in that date range, did you have sexual contact with an individual with the initials of AK?
Yes, sir.
Speak louder for us.
Yes, sir.
And was there a familial relationship between the two of you? In other words, was that a father-daughter relationship?
Yes, sir.
And that sexual contact was unconsented to, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you would agree that the familial relationship is really the first degree of blood affinity, but in other words, it's within 3 degrees of blood affinity?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that sexual contact happened twice in that time range, correct?
Yes, sir.
I think I'm satisfied here.
Ms. McClure, are you satisfied?
And do you agree that the individual with the initials AK was below the age of 13 and that you were greater than the age of 17?
Yes.
Okay, I'm satisfied, Judge.
All right. Has the court complied? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Has the court complied with the MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Dagger Margosian?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McClure?
Yes.
Right, I accept both, the plea to both counts. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. Ms. Adams, what date can I use for sentencing, please?
Judge, I have down February 21st at 8:15, if that works.
Are you available that day, Mr. Dagger Margosian?
Thank you.
All right, so we will set this for sentencing on February 21 at 8:15 in the morning. Ms. Adams, could I get a notice of hearing from Mr. Kaepernick?
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Kaepernick, I'm going to have you step across the hall to the probation department. It's a busy day over there today, but they will set up a time for you to come back and meet and speak with them, and also give you some paperwork to fill out. When you meet with them, be truthful about your background, be truthful with them about the events that occurred. They'll prepare a pre-sentence report that will be provided to your attorney from my office. He will get a hold of you, he always does, he's really good about it, review it with you in advance, and sentencing will probably be in person. So I'm gonna set sentencing in person So we will see you back on February 21 at 8:15, and what are you gonna say?
I was just gonna briefly request to address Bond.
Okay,
He has a GPS tether on his ankle, been on since probably the pendency of this case. There's been no violations. It is costly pursuant to him taking this plea. I guess I would ask the court to consider removing it. I don't know if there would be an objection from the people, but for the reasons stated, I think it would be appropriate. He's
so Ms. McClure, as I look back through the file, I don't always get everything from district court, but it looks like his tether's been on since November of 23. Did people have any position? There's been no violations.
No,
Oh,
I
I'm
have
sorry.
no position. I would leave it in the discretion of the court.
Okay, all right, so I will allow the tether to be removed. Understand if you violate any of the bond conditions by contact or anything else, I will incarcerate you. Okay, all right, so bond conditions can be changed. Were you reporting to Mr. Coast at all?
It was, Your Honor, his name was Darren, not quite sure his last name.
yeah.
Coach.
Yeah, okay. So I'll contact Mr. Coast, so he'll meet you in the hallway to tell you what you need to do. So step across the hall, check in. Ms. Teskey, I see is here today. You'll probably be a Chris Jones case, but they'll give you information what you need to do at this point. Make sure you show up, be honest with them, and we'll have the tether removed. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else? No, go ahead.
I was told about this plea and got on as soon as I was told, but I don't have any of the plea agreement information or anything.
I just chatted it to you as soon as you logged on. He
Okay.
pled guilty.
Sorry.
Out.
I was gonna say, I sent it to Mr. Jones. I can forward the email to you, Ms. Teskey.
Okay, thank
He
you.
pled guilty. He pled guilty. I chatted you. He pled guilty
Okay.
to count 3 and 4, 4th degree CSE, count 1 and 2 dismissed, no sentencing agreement.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So here's a notice of hearing for sentencing. Remember, it's in person. And we'll see you back on that day. Thank you. Could you let Mr.
Thank you.
Coast know to go talk to him in the hall? All right. And we'll send Mr. Coast out to the hallway. Are you ready for Mr. McKenzie to be brought down?
Yes.